Jealous or professional? YENA fans slam BTS's Jin for overly intimate loser live show. Is there more than music between them? Is it just chemistry on stage or something more? What really happened behind the scenes of Jin's loser performance with YENA that left fans divided and the internet buzzing? It was meant to be a powerful musical comeback, a celebration of Jin BTS's return to the spotlight after nearly 2 years in military service. With his sophomore solo album Echo making waves across the globe, fans were eager for emotional vocals, visual storytelling, and collaborations that hit the heart. But no one could have predicted that one of those collaborations, specifically the track Loser featuring rising soloist YENA, would trigger a wave of backlash, suspicion, and burning questions. The Dingo live performance of Loser, filmed in an intimate studio setting, was posted on June 14, 2025, and within hours, clips had gone viral, not because of the vocal harmony or the raw vulnerability of the lyrics, but because of the visible closeness between Jin and YENA. From the lingering eye contact to a subtle hand graze that fans caught in 4K, the performance became the center of controversy rather than celebration. Is this art or something more? Why does Jin look at her like that? Asked one viral tweet with over 300,000 likes. You don't just sing like that with anyone. Others chimed in, labeling the interaction as inappropriate, too intimate for a stage collab, and even disrespectful to both fandoms. Many YENA fans in particular felt she had been dragged into unnecessary drama, accusing Jin's team of using her image for emotional leverage. But Jin fans were quick to defend the star, noting that Loser is a deeply emotional track exploring themes of rejection, longing, and vulnerability, and such intensity requires genuine expression. It's acting, it's performance art, it's literally their job. One fan wrote on Weverse, "You want fake chemistry instead? So who's right? Were the emotions real, or were both stars simply delivering a masterclass in emotional performance? HYBE and Yuehua stay silent." Adding fuel to the fire? As speculation spiraled, neither HYBE nor YENA's agency, Yuehua Entertainment, issued a statement, further fueling rumors. Fans demanded clarification. Was this all staged to boost buzz for the upcoming Jin Seokjin EP tour, which kicks off in Goyang on June 28th? Or is there truth hiding in plain sight? You don't market a heartbreak song with that kind of tension unless there's a personal angle, claimed a K-netizen in a Pan forum thread that's now trending. Rumors of private meetups, undisclosed studio sessions, and shared stylists began to spread. Adding more gasoline, several fans dug up a now-deleted behind-the-scenes clip where Jin is seen laughing softly with YENA while adjusting her mic, an action some interpreted as overly caring and uncharacteristic. Loser or lover? Is it just a coincidence that the title Loser sounds dangerously close to lover when whispered between verses? Fans with eagle eyes claim the wordplay is intentional, especially given the way the duo nearly whisper-sing to each other in parts of the live version. YENA's vocals come in like a response to a breakup letter, said one TikTok music analyst. There's intimacy in the layering. This isn't just a feature, it's a conversation. Whether Jin and YENA meant it or not, the narrative has taken on a life of its own. And in the world of K-pop, where fans read between every line, blink, and breath, perception can be more powerful than truth. A calculated risk or collateral damage, regardless of intention, the impact is undeniable. Views for Loser skyrocketed, outpacing other tracks on Echo and sparking hundreds of reaction videos, debate threads, and think pieces. For Jin, it's a controversial win. For YENA, it's both a spotlight and a storm. The real question is, was this move carefully crafted by management to stir the pot ahead of Jin's global tour, or did the duo underestimate the emotional resonance and interpretation of their on-screen dynamic? And if this is just the beginning, what will fans see on stage in Goyang, Tokyo, or New York? Just days after the performance aired, YENA's personal Instagram became a battlefield. Despite her agency disabling comments on her recent post, screenshots of DMs and harsh criticisms flooded online forums. Some BTS fans accused her of being too comfortable with Jin, while others outright claimed she used the collaboration to boost her career. But fans of YENA were quick to clap back. She's not just some rookie riding coattails. She was an IZ*1. She's had chart toppers before. One fan commented on X, formerly Twitter, "Stop acting like she doesn't belong next to Jin." Others raised a valid question. Would a male idol get the same hate for acting close to a female collaborator? Or is this yet another case of internalized misogyny in K-pop fandoms? The idol double standard, when chemistry becomes controversy. It's no secret that K-pop fans often walk a tightrope between adoration and obsession. Artists are expected to sell the illusion of intimacy without crossing invisible lines. But who sets those lines? Jin has always been known as the gentleman of BTS, notes culture writer Ju Haibin. He's warm, playful, but rarely flirty. That's why this performance hit differently. It felt tender. Ironically, it's that tenderness, so absent in many idol performances, that sparked the backlash. In a world where expressions of real emotion are rare and often choreographed, the authenticity of the Jin YENA moment may have struck a nerve simply because it felt real. But is that a problem or progress? Bigot and Yuehua's radio silence, a genius move?
No statements, no clarifications.
Not a word from Bigot or Yuehua. For some, that silence is damning. For others, it's brilliant marketing. Controversy fuels clicks, said entertainment insider Lee Junho. Whether fans are angry or obsessed, they're still watching, streaming, and talking. That's the game.
And he may be right.
The Loser Live clip is now the most watched Dingo live performance of 2025, surpassing even viral stages by IU and Taeyong. International media have picked up the story. YouTubers and TikTokers are dissecting every second of the video like it's a scene from a thriller. Even non-K-pop fans are intrigued. Wait, who's this duo everyone's talking about? Behind the scenes, a leaked staff audio changes everything? As if things couldn't get more chaotic, a now-deleted staff-only audio recording began circulating on Discord servers and private fan forums on June 15th. In the short clip, allegedly recorded after the Dingo Live shoot, a male voice, believed to be Jin, is heard saying, "She was incredible. The emotion in her eyes during the bridge? I felt it. I haven't felt that during a duet in years." Is it genuine admiration for a fellow artist? Or something more? Fans are divided. Some called the clip heartfelt and sweet. Others saw it as confirmation of an emotional connection, and not just musically. Still, skeptics warn. We've been down this road before. One clip out of context doesn't mean romance. It means they respect each other. End of story. But of course, in K-pop, there is never an end to the story. A calculated chapter in Jin's evolution? Some fans and analysts believe this entire controversy is not a misstep, but a move. A bold one. Jin's Echo album is far more introspective and emotionally raw than his previous solo effort. The inclusion of Loser, a duet with a female voice, feels intentional. A storytelling device, a way to show maturity, heartbreak, growth. And let's not forget, this is a man who's returning from military service. He's older, wiser, and no longer the WWH worldwide handsome with a joke around every corner. He's now a soloist telling real stories, and that means taking risks. This performance wasn't just for the fans, said pop culture critic Daniel Nam. It was for Jin, to reclaim his voice, to break expectations, to explore what it means to feel. What's next? The Run Seokjin EP tour could hold answers. With the Run Seokjin EP tour set to begin in less than 2 weeks, fans are asking the big question. Will YENA appear on stage? Her name has not been confirmed on the tour guest list. But that hasn't stopped fans from speculating. Japanese armies have already begun posting seat maps and tracking setlist leaks online. Rumors are swirling that she may show up for a surprise duet in Osaka, or even at the tour finale in Amsterdam. If she does, one thing is certain. All eyes will be on them. And what happens next could either silence the rumors or fuel an entirely new chapter in this unfolding K-pop drama. It started with the whisper, a blurry photo backstage, a staff member's hoodie in the reflection of a glass door. Fans weren't even sure what they were seeing. but they felt it.
YENA was in Amsterdam.
Rumors flooded X and Weverse instantly. She's here. I swear I saw her near the artist entrance. One post read. Another fan posted a short, pixelated video that appeared to show YENA's silhouette walking into the Ziggo Dome hours before Jin's final concert of the Jin Seokjin EP tour. Still, there was no confirmation.
No guest announcements.
No hints in the pre-show visuals. Until everything went dark. The lights in the arena cut to black. A single acoustic guitar echoed through the arena. The opening chords of Loser rang out, stripped down and raw. Fans screamed in disbelief, some already pulling out their phones, whispering, "No way."
No way.
Then came her voice.
Soft.
Controlled. Haunting. YENA emerged from behind the curtain, dressed in a midnight blue gown, eyes fixed straight ahead as she walked toward Jin, who stood in the center of the stage, frozen in a spotlight. They didn't speak. They didn't smile. They just sang. And the world held its breath. A performance that felt too real. From the first harmony, it was clear this wasn't just a promotional moment. This was something deeper. Jin's eyes never left hers. His expression shifted with each line. Pain, regret, longing. As they sang the chorus, "I'm just a loser in your story again," the screen behind them filled with handwritten lyrics, scribbled in what looked like ink and tears. Midway through, YENA's voice cracked. Not from lack of control, but from something more vulnerable. Real emotion. Jin, without missing a beat, stepped closer. Not choreographed, not planned, just instinct. He reached out and took her hand. A collective gasp surged through the stadium. Phones trembled. Screams turned to stunned silence. Even the loudest fans didn't dare interrupt what felt like a confession disguised as a ballad. Was that a goodbye? As the final notes faded, Jin looked at YENA and bowed. Slow, deep, respectful. She did the same. And then she walked off the stage.
No wait. No smile.
Just gone, like a ghost in the night. The screen behind Jin flickered again. One final message appeared, written in cursive white. Sometimes a story ends in silence. Echoes are all that remain. The lights returned. Jin bowed again. Then he walked off, ending the tour with no encore. No fan could believe what they'd just witnessed. Internet meltdown. Did Jin just break K-pop? The hashtags exploded. Hashtag Jinx YENA. Hashtag Ellisar Live Amsterdam. Hashtag Echo Finale. Hashtag Seokjin. Theories spiraled out of control. Was this a farewell to a relationship that never got to begin? Was Loser a real story all along? Were the rumors true? Was there a real, unspoken history between them? YouTube exploded with reaction videos. TikTok montages began trending, pairing their Amsterdam performance with quotes from tragic romance films. International fans were divided. Some cried, others demanded explanations, and a few even shipped the duo harder than ever. They didn't have to touch, one user commented. But they did. That wasn't acting. Another wrote, that wasn't just a duet. That was closure. Even major entertainment outlets couldn't stay silent. Billboard ran the headline. Jin and YENA's Amsterdam performance sparks emotional wildfire. Fans ask, was it all real? Bigot and Yuehua finally speak, sort of. 3 days later, both HYB labels and Yuehua Entertainment released carefully worded statements. The performance of Loser in Amsterdam was a culmination of a creative vision shared between two respected artists. Any emotional interpretation by viewers is subjective and a testament to the power of storytelling in music. In short, no confirmation, no denial. Fans called it what it was, a smokescreen. But it didn't matter, because the story had already taken root in the hearts of millions. A legacy in one song. As Loser continues to top charts across Spotify, Melon, and Apple Music, the Amsterdam performance has already been dubbed the most emotionally charged duet in recent K-pop history. Even longtime critics are stunned by the risks taken. For Jin, this moment will likely define the Echo era, not for its controversies, but for its courage. For YENA, it marks a career-defining turn, showing the world she's not just a former idol group member, but a force of vocal and emotional power. And for fans, it leaves a question that may never be answered. Were we witnessing art or something heartbreakingly real? It wasn't just a performance, it was a moment that refused to die. 3 days after Jin and YENA's haunting duet in Amsterdam, the K-pop universe remained in complete emotional paralysis. Millions of fans were still refreshing fan cams, dissecting every glance, lip quiver, and whispered lyric. Was there a tear in Jin's eye at the end? Was YENA shaking when she walked away? Theories were everywhere. Some said the performance was a scripted breakup reenactment. Others were convinced they'd just watched two real people say goodbye, using a stage as their therapy room. But for most fans, it wasn't just about what they saw, it was about what it meant. A YouTube video titled Jin and YENA, Lovers in Silence, racked up 2.8 million views in under 24 hours. In one now viral reaction, a Korean army sobbed openly. "I don't care if it was real or fake. That duet made me believe in something again. And now I feel like I lost it." Echo, Behind the Silence, the fan-made documentary that went viral. By day 4, fans had taken things into their own hands. A 47-minute fan documentary titled Echo, Behind the Silence dropped on Vimeo, complete with timelines, unreleased clips, lyric analysis, and even alleged lip-reading breakdowns. It trended on TikTok for 3 consecutive days. One of the most shocking moments? A slowed-down clip from Amsterdam showing Jin mouthing something to YENA at the very end, possibly saying, "Thank you for everything." Others believed it was more intimate. "I'll miss you." Was it really said? Or was it wishful thinking? It didn't matter. The emotional damage had been done. YENA wasn't supposed to be there. The staff whistleblower. Things took another explosive turn when a Dingo Live staffer anonymously posted on the Co forums with a headline that read, "YENA wasn't even scheduled for Amsterdam. She flew herself out." The post, which gained over 50,000 comments within hours, claimed YENA paid for her own flight and showed up backstage as a surprise gift to Jin for the tour finale. The post also alleged that Jin didn't know until minutes before going on stage, and that he cried during soundcheck. Was it true? The post was deleted within hours. But the fandom had already made up its mind. This wasn't performance art. This was personal. HYBE's digital sweep fuels conspiracies. Within days, dozens of TikTok compilations and tweet threads were mysteriously removed for copyright. YouTube videos showing fan-recorded angles of Jin reaching for YENA's hand were hit with takedowns. And in typical K-pop fashion, this digital sweep only confirmed everyone's suspicions. "They're scrubbing the truth," one fan posted. "That means it's real." The phrase "too real to be fiction" started trending. Fans made merch with it. Others changed their profile bios to just "echoed too deeply." But the biggest shock wasn't viral. It was personal. The leaked letter. Did Jin actually write to YENA? One anonymous X account, known for accurately leaking BTS schedule details in the past, posted something that broke the fandom in half. An alleged draft of a handwritten letter from Jin to YENA, left behind on the tour bus and retrieved by a hired cleaner. The letter read, in part, "I didn't know this song would change the way I look at you, or that you'd change the way I look at everything. If this is the only time I get to sing beside you, I'll carry that echo for the rest of my life. Forgive me for not saying this when I should have." The image of the letter had no verified origin. The handwriting was eerily similar to Jin's, but fans remained divided on its authenticity. HYBE declined to comment. Was it real? Even if it wasn't, it felt real. And that's all that mattered. Will there be an MV? The final bombshell. As of mid-August 2025, Loser has officially surpassed 50 million streams on Spotify and is climbing iTunes charts in over 25 countries. With its virality peaking, fans began begging for an official music video. Rumors swirled that HYBE had already shot one and then scrapped it due to emotional intensity and overlapping real-life implications. But then came another twist. On August 14th, a user on Reddit's r/Copleaks posted a cryptic message. Check the Bigot YouTube channel August 18th, midnight KST. You're not ready. Theories exploded. Is it the official Loser MV? Is it a short film featuring Jin and YENA? Is it a goodbye? No one knows. But fans have already begun planning digital watch parties. Some are scared. Some are excited. All are waiting. Because if that video drops, it might answer everything. Or leave us with even more questions. August 18th arrived like a tidal wave, flooding timelines, message boards, and fan servers with trembling anticipation. As the clock inched closer to midnight KST, a deafening silence fell across the fandom.
No li vestream.
No pre-scheduled premiere. Just a blank waiting screen on Bigot Music's official YouTube page. No description.
No tumnai.
Just a title. Loser, filmed by Jin. It wasn't labeled as a music video. It wasn't categorized as behind the scenes. It was simply there, ominous, naked, daring people to press play. And when they did, everything changed. The film opened with a barren winter forest, a heavy fog crawling through the trees like a ghost looking for a name. Jin stood alone, dressed in black, holding a letter in his hand. The camera didn't rush. It lingered, every breath visible in the cold air, every blink a metronome of tension. His eyes were red, not from makeup, but as if he hadn't slept, or maybe had cried. He walked, slowly, deliberately, as a soft piano version of Loser began in the background. No vocals yet, just keys. And then, behind him, a second figure emerged, YENA. She didn't run to him.
She didn't speak.
She simply walked a few feet behind, eyes downcast, as if unsure whether she was allowed to close the distance. The cinematography was intimate yet distant, warm yet icy, like the memory of something that once was beautiful, but no longer belonged in the present. The scene cut to an abandoned house, weathered, decaying, filled with forgotten moments. Photographs were scattered across a wooden table. Snapshots of Jin and YENA, both looking candid, not idol-like, not posed. They were brushing teeth, laughing with messy hair, sitting by a window holding tea. Real or staged, no one could tell, but it felt invasive, heartbreaking.
Raw.
The first line of the song finally arrived, sung by Jin, almost whispered. Even if you forget me, I won't forget the sound of you leaving. The video spiraled into a loop of metaphors. YENA drowning in a bathtub fully clothed, Jin smashing a mirror and bleeding, both of them standing on opposite ends of a glass wall, hands pressed to it, unable to touch. At one point, YENA stared directly into the camera and mouthed something. Fans immediately tried to lip read. Some said it was sorry. Others believed it was goodbye. The climax of the song was matched by a harrowing scene. Jin running through the forest, wind whipping through the branches, rain pelting down.
He was chasing something.
Or someone, but the camera never revealed who. Only in the final moments did he stop in a clearing, breathless, and fall to his knees, screaming. But there was no sound, only the music, only Loser. The final scene returned to the house. Jin sat at the same table, reading the letter. He folded it, placed it into a box, and walked out the door. YENA stood just outside. He looked at her, nodded once, painful, soft, final. She nodded back. And then, she turned and walked away. Jin didn't follow. The screen faded to black, and a single line appeared. To the echo, I can't forget. The comment section exploded instantly. Within 5 minutes, the video had 500,000 views. Within an hour, #LoserMV, #EchoFilm, #JinYenaStory, and #To the Echo were trending in 38 countries. TikTok clips were uploaded mid-viewing, fans crying uncontrollably, whispering, it wasn't just a performance. This was their story. Some claimed the video confirmed everything, that Jin and YENA had shared something private. Maybe not a relationship, but a connection deeper than friendship, deeper than fandom boundaries could accept. Others felt betrayed, uncomfortable even, calling it a public display of emotional manipulation. Some hardcore Jin stans accused HYB of forcing him to co-star in a project that felt too close to home, while YENA's anti-fans launched harsh attacks online, accusing her of stealing the narrative. But neither HYB nor Yuehua released any clarifying statement. Again, silence.
Strategic. Tense.
Brilliant. Journalists began piecing together timelines. Articles emerged with headlines like, "Was Loser a love letter in disguise?" And "The real echo. Did Jin and YENA say goodbye on stage and on screen?" Industry insiders suggested that the film was Jin's personal project post-military and that he had final creative control. If true, that meant every shot, every word, every emotion was intentional. That meant Jin knew exactly what kind of storm he was unleashing. And perhaps that was the point. It wasn't about confirming anything. It wasn't about labels, dating scandals, or fan wars.
It was about storytelling.
Vulnerability.
Loss.
Still, fans couldn't shake the feeling that something had changed forever. That the old Jin, playful, aloof, untouchable, had been replaced by a version of himself now fully exposed. A man who had lived through heartbreak and instead of hiding it, turned it into art. As the days passed, edits of the film circulated endlessly. Fans began writing fan letters to both idols, thanking them for showing such depth, such courage. And though neither Jin nor YENA addressed the video directly, a quiet ripple of understanding passed through the community. YENA posted a single image on Instagram, a blurry photo of a foggy forest.
No caption. No tags.
Jin on Weverse posted a few lines days later. "If you heard the silence, you understood the story. That was it. Nothing more." But for those who had watched, listened, and felt every aching second of the film, it was enough. Because sometimes love doesn't need a label. Sometimes goodbye doesn't need to be loud. And sometimes the most unforgettable songs are the ones that echo. Would you like to continue with fictional interviews, fan protests, or maybe a sudden twist, like a surprise reunion at an awards show or a hidden track from Jin's album that reveals a second layer to the story? The world is wide open.